Hi, I'm Andrew M., and welcome to Andrew's Toybox. This is my very first YouTube video, and what I want to do on this channel is offer my insight, knowledge, and a little bit of my personal story, experience, and opinions on the very large number of action figures and action figure related toys I have in my collection. To give everyone some background, I've been collecting since I was 3 years old, although I didn't know I was collecting until I was about 13, if you know what I mean. And I have amassed a very large collection over the years that I think is fairly unique. And as a collector, I've got some fairly unique habits that I've noticed not a lot of other people in the collecting community seem to partake in. As an example, I do not army build. If you think of characters from fiction like the Imperial Stormtroopers and whatnot, where there's large armies, thousands of them, I don't do that. I have one of each particular figure or character that is released in my collection, and I don't like to have big, massive armies. I also don't believe in keeping toys in the box. These are action figures, but they're meant to be opened and played with as toys. They're made as toys, marketed as toys, sold as toys, purchased as toys, whether as gifts for me or by myself. So yeah, I like to get them out. I like to play with them. I like to see what is worth having, what's not worth having. And so I thought for this very first video what I would do is randomly select something from my action figure collection. I have 3,195 action figures as of today, July 31st, 2018. And so using the almighty power of complete random chaos, that's Google, I selected off my action figure list this figure. This is Beachcomber, a Transformer from 1984. He is an Autobot, which is a heroic faction of the Transformers, for those of you who are unfamiliar. His backstory within the Transformers is that, like all of the others in the original cartoon and other fictions, he crash landed on Earth millions of years ago and was suddenly awakened, and when he rebuilt himself along with all of his comrades, he decided to take on a disguise form that would fit somewhere in 1980s America. And what better disguise form than a blue and silver robot who looks like a dune buggy? I mean, it's genius. The character is a geologist for the Autobots, which means that, you know, he likes rocks. Who doesn't like rocks? Shout out, Lid! So this character is not one that I've owned since the 1980s. Actually, I picked him up somewhere around 2002, 2003 in a thrift shop in New Brunswick. And I actually think he's kind of neat. Now, in terms of like paint job and things like that, there's not much to be had here. Most Transformers were cast in whatever plastics their various colors were. So, like, the head, the arms, the legs, they're actual blue plastic. The chest is silver. You can see his little canopy here. That's actually a separate black piece that's permanently glued on. There are some, he's got this one sticker in his chest, and then the one thermal sticker down on his leg. All the original 80s Transformers had these thermal stickers, and if you rubbed them for long enough, they would reveal the symbol of whatever team they were on, whether they were good guys or bad guys. I guess because it was the 80s and holograph stickers were new, so shiny, yay. In terms of articulation, actually for most Transformers, articulation is a problem way back when, because the focus was on them being able to turn from robot into vehicle rather than being able to move in any kind of sensible way when they were in their robot form. But Beachcomber's pretty good. His arms go up and down like that, and because of the way that he's made, he even has the ability to sort of bend his leg in almost like a walking motion, so that's cool. When it comes to like his actual composition and mold, he's glued together rather than screwed together, as many of the Transformers are. Although there are 2 screws in the back, I took them out and they don't do anything. He's glued together. The wheels are actual soft rubber, which is really neat. So I was very lucky to get this guy at a thrift store and found that he was, basically intact. He's in very, very good shape. He's not very large. I have these big piano player hands because I'm like 6'5" if you ever met me in real life. So he's probably about 3 inches even. Maybe not even. He stands smaller than the standard size Star Wars or G.I. Joe figure by about a head. So he is a little bit tiny. But he does pack one punch, which is that he transforms. And thankfully it's so simple, I don't even have to turn the camera off. I can do this live. So we just pop his arms in like that, flip the head down, bend those legs all the way back. That's gotta hurt if he had actual legs. And now he's a dune buggy. And notice that the headlights are what his kneecaps used to be. So I mean, if this guy runs at full tilt and like smashes somebody, he ain't walking for a long time. In terms of a personal backstory with this one, I don't have much of one. Where he is one that I acquired in my adult life, I never had an overwhelming desire to get him as a kid or anything like that. I never had too much of an attachment to the character, despite the fact that he has sort of an offbeat team specialty in that he's the team geologist. That never really fazed me. I like some pretty unconventional characters in a lot of the fictions out there. So I actually really enjoy this figure. I like having him in my collection, and I'm glad that the random generator picked one like this that I honestly never would have thought of, because he doesn't come to mind as a specifically great or awesome or special figure in my collection, but he's really cool. So, hey, what do you guys think of Beachcomber? Do you follow Transformers? Do you have anything to say about it? Do you know somebody who had one? Maybe you still have one. Leave a comment. Drop me a line. Let me know. Is there something in particular you're like, you have to own this, that you'd love to see me give my thoughts on? Leave a comment below. Let me know. And in the meanwhile, I'll see you out there in Toyland.